Hi everyone, welcome to Gamer Nerds. This is our new podcast. There are gonna be two hosts. I'm Leroy,
Hi, I'm V.
and pretty much what we're gonna be doing here is running down new games, upcoming games, indie games, movies, anything that's gamer related and nerd related that you can think of. Going from comics to anime, like anything, manga, like anything you can think of, we're gonna have a piece in. Is there anything that you would like to add, V?
Uh, yeah, there's gonna be cursing, so just be forewarned. This is not a kid-friendly stream or
Yes.
podcast.
Very not kid friendly. Um though I would say if your parents allow you to look past the cussing, that is on them, that is on you. Um
You've
we
been
don't
warned.
You've been warned. All right. So I'm making sure I have everything up and running at the moment. The audio's sounds great. I'm checking through my phone so y'all don't have to hear it. Background's working. You're here. I'm here. Are if my thing if my I'm having a strong I told you this is gonna happen. I was so nervous coming on to the stream today because the podcast has been in the works for about 2 months, trying to be able to get it on like Apple's like podcast, Spotify, like it's on just about anything you can think of. Even Pandora's like apparently I didn't even know Pandora had a podcast like app or like a podcast
I
section.
didn't either.
I found that
I
out in the
didn't
middle of like
either,
researching all
actually.
this. Like what?
I
Um
mean, okay.
Also, I would also like to let y'all know that if y'all want specific topics or anything, do like leave it in the comments because we're even gonna have a YouTube channel for the video version. We're gonna have the stream. We're doing it once every 2 weeks. There's not a specific day yet. We will work on that if we can. Work schedules and stuff. That's gonna kind of happen. Uh, Hi, Duart. Um, so other than that, I don't really think there's anything else to add for the beginning other than just getting right into the topics. What do you think?
I think we should just get right into the topics.
All right. So before we fully get in, we do have to introduce our special guest that's going to be here for the first two things that we're talking about. Their name is Lynn. They're a wonderful little gremlin, and they should be joining shortly. Switch this over real fast.
Hello.
Hello. This is Lynn. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell them a little bit about yourself real fast.
Yeah. My name is Lynn. I'm a friend of both Leroy and Dee. I'm just another gaming nerd. So excited and happy to be a part of this discussion, wherever it leads.
Which,
Yee.
Don't have any socials, so it doesn't
oh
really
yeah,
matter. They
yeah.
can't find me on anything. So sorry.
Unless you want to add her on fucking what? Do you want to link your Blizzard?
No, I
Is
don't. Nothing.
that?
No, nothing like that.
All right. Well, so first off, me and V introduced our names, but didn't really say anything about ourselves. So specifically, as you can see on the stream, I have a face cam. She technically has a face cam, but it would have been weird for the stream trying to set that up at the moment. So
If we can find a way to have both of our videos in the stream,
we
we'll
will get
work
it
on it.
done.
But for now,
It's just
but
this
for the
beautiful little
podcast portion,
character.
but for the podcast portion, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, other than that, you're just gonna hear the audio. Specifically about me, I'll flat out tell you being a part of the LGBT is definitely a huge part of who I am. I'm also a Wiccan and very so much into my religion. I love spell aspects of it, the loving earth, 100%. There, I could go into a whole thing about it, which if we ever do add that to our topics, I will, and you will want to pay me to shut up. V here is an artist, and she can tell you more about herself too.
Okay, so I'm V. I'm an artist. I've been drawing since I think it was about 6 or so. When I decided to start drawing, I guess. I do draw professionally. I do have Twitter, which I don't know, maybe I'll link
It's
eventually.
not safe for work. She's gonna work on a safe for work one.
Yeah. So once I have a safe for work Twitter set up, I will definitely link that for the podcast. I am a huge gamer, a huge nerd. I actually just recently bought a Keyblade for my wall, and I'm like so stoked because
It
I've
looks
wanted one for
so
so
good, by the
long.
way.
It does. And it's hanging like right in front of me.
If I
So
remember correctly, isn't it the Jack Skellington?
yeah, it's
I
the Jack Skellington
Yeah,
one.
it's the
Pumpkinhead.
Jack's. It was from Spirit, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in case any of y'all are wondering, it was on
It
sale
was
after
$15 on
Halloween. Yeah, it
sale.
was like $15. So it's not like the high quality that y'all might be like,
Yeah,
oh my god, the
it's definitely
$150 one.
it's like the $15 one. If I was rich, I would definitely be buying those replicas that are
Oh
like
god, tell
solid.
me about it. But
But so other than that, I am also incredibly gay. I am pansexual, engaged to a non-binary person.
who occasionally
Very
likes to be
happily
called an
engaged.
alien apparently.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
weird.
but yeah, that's kind of about me.
All right. So we do have for our starting two topics our new and upcoming games. Two of the games which Lynn's going to be here for because she has been waiting for one of these games and was a fan of the first game of the other one, and it's Cyberpunk and Atlas Rogues. So we're going to jump in with Cyberpunk first. And we're going to go back and forth between like information we have about like Keanu being in it when it was announced, which was like first announced officially back in what 2012, and then the first trailer was 2013, stuff like that. And comparing it to Kingdom Hearts, we're going to talk about how it has merch already, why it doesn't, but yet the game isn't out yet, and how it got
Yeah,
the
like
green
there's
light.
you're so nervous. I can tell. Oh my god.
Oh, I promise I'm okay. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So apparently, actually, this is the first thing I definitely want to talk about is how there was a tweet about it getting the green light, that it was finished, 100% done, it was ready to come out, and that they weren't gonna change the time. Then they delete the
Mhm.
tweet, and 2 days later, they then pushed it back to December, which was, I believe, they did this after the consoles were released. So I can kind of understand, but with their track record, it kind of hurts.
Well, I think the biggest thing overall with games like Cyberpunk, it's been
Mhm.
obviously it's been 7 long years for people who have been waiting for it, but at the same time, this particular game has two, if I remember correctly, distinct like technologies that they have developed that are brand new to gaming in it. One is like lip syncing sound recognition
Wait, for you and your
software.
character?
I'm not sure. Well, I don't know if they use it for like the voice actors and like had them like the rigging of animations. I just know that that's what that they developed that specifically for this game, like from the ground
Yeah.
up. And there's another one too, but I just don't remember it off the top of my head. And so I think with things like that, I feel like it's really easy to kind of point at a company and be like, okay, like why is this taking so long? But it's going to be released on so many different platforms, and yes, obviously with the PlayStation and the Xbox and other consoles, and
Is it
mobile
even?
coming up.
It's not releasing on Switch, right? I believe that's the
I
only thing
don't
it's
think
not
so.
releasing on.
No, I
Well,
don't
that
think
and
so.
mobile. God,
Yeah.
if that could thing ran, if the game ran off of
I mean, I'm
mobile, I
sure
would be like,
they'll
boy.
I'm sure there'll be a mobile like something involving mobile. That's just the
Well,
way that most games are going these days.
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
likes porting to mobile, even if they like strip the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the biggest issue right now. If I were to guess as to why they keep continuously pushing it back because it is in their best interest to make it as accessible as possible. People have already waited long. I don't think people are gonna the people that are truly like fans of the CD Project Red and their previous works, they probably want it on the newer systems. They're not going to want to, settle. Why settle for that when they can wait just a little bit longer and get it on the newer system? So I think that has
Yeah.
a big,
With
part of
increased
it as
graphics
well.
and stuff because, new hardware.
Yeah. And, to be honest, like Cyberpunk, I feel like a lot of why it's taken so long, it's because they have made some really hard decisions in terms of, like I know they added the ray tracing, they worked really like close with NVIDIA on getting that added to the game and, making sure that, all the other like old assets that they had could like, make it run
Yeah.
with that again. So you're adding all these different systems and technologies in there that haven't really been, tested before. And then on top of it, you need to port it over to a new platform or a brand
Yeah.
new platform. So, on one hand, like I do agree that a company is a company at the end of the day, and it is unfortunate that, there's all this merch and all this crazy other stuff that they're,
Yeah.
deciding to put all their focus in. But I I am a true believer, and I feel like this should be with any video game that it comes out when it truly is ready in the best
Mhm.
possible way it can be. Because when I get my hands on this game, if I'll accept a few bugs here and there, but I'm not. I don't want it to be like a Mass Effect Andromeda where it's completely unplayable and to a
Yes.
point where it's like why I wasted my
Why
money
did
on
I
this.
even buy this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number one thing is, which I'm really happy there wasn't like a early access thing, because I will wholeheartedly admit I hate early access. I wish the game was just released. But I
Side eyes
do
wrapped.
support it and I buy it because it helps them finish the game. It gives them the money they need to finish it and it supports them. And yes, what they currently have is most of the time actually super fun. Look at Craftopia and Raft. Am I angry that it takes so long? Yes, but that's more of a me problem because I'm impatient. Let's be real.
You are.
Um, but like one thing I do hate is whenever they do like release all this different merch. Like I can understand some shirts, stuff like that, but they straight up released basically like like the Blizzard like figures that they made for like Diva, Mercy, all
Funko
that.
Pop.
They no, not the Funko Pops, like the actual
Like the
statues that cost like
statues, yeah.
100 and something. They
Yeah.
made
No,
one
I
of
know, but they also
Keanu
have like
Reeves. Well, yeah, which like Funko Pops I'm fine with because those are cheap and easy. But they made like one of those 100 and something dollar like statues of Keanu Reeves, and it's like, and it was released. Oh no, it's pre-order actually. It's been on pre-order for a little over. Let me see. Let me go check the date. It's been on pre-order apparently over a year, slightly. Almost a year. It's been on pre-order. People have been pre-ordering this for a year.
Like on top of that, like I do agree with Lynn. I would absolutely 100% rather have it be polished and refined instead of, a turd.
Oh
But
yeah, 100%.
like they just have so much merch. I mean, they are selling art books for a game that's not even out yet.
Yeah. Like I think it's even the concept art books too.
Well,
Mhm.
I know that they had originally discussed with the and I don't remember his name, but there's a man behind the vision in terms of the cyberpunk
Mhm.
lore and world. And I know that he is working. That's probably some of that art book stuff and the statues and all this. A little bit of this merchandising is from him because he,
Yeah.
they released the anime for this already. They released actual
There's an
books.
anime?
There's
Yep,
an
there's an
anime?
anime. Yep, there's an anime. It's pretty good
I looked
actually.
up everything I
Um,
possibly could over this. I did not find an anime.
yep, there's an anime. Yep. And so
Link me later.
it's it's one of those things where obviously, that doesn't take away from the development of a game. Those are separate,
Yeah.
you
Those
know,
are separate studios, yeah.
separate studios or project teams that work on that,
Yeah.
but I think some of that money also has helped fueling, what I had said initially
Yeah, and
of,
keep it, like,
you know,
alive.
I don't think CD Projekt Red or any game studio has, to my knowledge, any insight of when these new consoles or new graphics cards, all these new
Yeah.
new technologies coming out, and so it's
Well,
interesting to me that I want
yeah.
sometimes I wonder how that process works where you're working on a game and you're working on a game and it's like, okay,
Well, I
do we
actually can
release
answer
this?
this. I can actually answer some of this. So specifically for NVIDIA, like their graphics cards and stuff, you can actually for a company you can actually buy it's like buying in or also like just trying to partnership with them so you can kind of get an idea of what they're working on and they'll let you use like the prototypes is basically a test dummy to build your game. Sometimes it depends because there's always like the what if they leak it by accident or what if they leak it on purpose because someone in the office is stupid, blah 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 blah, all that. But sometimes they do. They'll be like, "Hey, this is actually coming out super soon, and like you're a partner of ours. You've been really good with us. Here's this new graphics card that's about to be released. You can look at that, by the way, and kind of optimize it to that." Which is also one of the reasons why it's like what after a month or two a card releases, and then a couple of weeks after there's like updates for all these games to be better performed with it, and that's the reason why.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm sure, if you look at games like, or look if you look at Sony and PlayStation and then Naughty Dog, obviously they're notorious for only releasing their titles to the PlayStation. The Last
yeah,
of Us, Last of Us 2 are really big ones, titles to that. And I'm sure they have, some form of agreement or partnership with those, people like, hey, like let's test it out. I was actually genuinely shocked that, The Last of Us 2 came out this year and then on top of it, the PlayStation or the next PlayStation station
Okay.
was announced. I was surprised that they didn't hold off on porting, and I'm sure they will anyways, because that's what they did with the last
yeah,
PlayStation is they released The Last of Us, and they're like, "Oh, this is PlayStation 4, you can get the new remastered version or something," or, I'm sure they'll do that anyways,
yeah.
but
I
yeah.
don't think it will sell though because of how bad the game was. But you were gonna say something. Oh,
Yeah, I
hi, V, you
think
back?
the internet cut her off.
No, my headphones have been messing up lately, so I'll
Oh,
just
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
go.
What were you gonna say? I know you wanted to interject.
I'm so mad at The Last of Us too. Like,
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
so bad. Like,
Honestly, do we
I
want to do
was
a quick
waiting.
10 minutes over how angry we are?
I mean, I
Yes,
think that
yes,
that
10
probably
minutes.
could be I mean, that probably could be also an entire episode on its own, just video game
On
Yeah,
stuff.
that could.
Yeah,
So,
I will just say this. I spent years waiting for The Last of Us 2, and I was so hyped. I bought the pre-order. I have the Ellie statue and, the art book and all this and that,
mhm.
and then the game came out, and I played the plot, and I was just so let down and disappointed. Like, I physically cried over that
Yeah.
game, and I
yeah.
really hope that Cyberpunk lives up to the hype that is
Well,
being
Yeah.
driven up
I
for
mean,
this.
not everything always falls short of its hype. Let's be completely honest, because
Well,
us as people will hype it up a little too much. We just hope it doesn't fall too short of the hype.
Well, Cyberpunk has 7 years of a mountain that it has to live up to. So, it's one of those
Yeah,
things
yeah.
where I want to firmly believe that the choices that they've made up into this point, and I do want to believe in their Twitter message of, we want to create something and we want to give it to you in the best, shape or form that
Possible.
it could be. And to The Last of Us Two's credit, it is a beautiful game. The
Oh,
sound
the
design is
graphics.
beautiful.
Oh,
Everything about it is
hmm
beautiful.
if
So
I could just
you're not
avoid
yeah.
if I could just avoid the plot line where Ellie's older,
Yeah.
I'd be so happy. I would have been sold.
Yeah.
If the entire game was just flashbacks
Yeah.
of Ellie and Joel, I'd have been happy. I'd
And
have been a pig in
yeah.
shit.
And so I think, unfortunately with games like that, the game studios kind of get shot in the foot because, it's a first person, not shooter, but like linear story driven game. There isn't
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of like wiggle room to kind of distract, the player bases like, oh, we have multiplayer, or we have this, or like that. Like with Cyberpunk, it'll be open world. There'll be tons of shit to do. There'll be infinite amounts of customization, and like
Oh, the
all sorts of
customization.
crazy things that you're going to be able to do. So with that too comes more complications in terms of it being released. So again,
Can
I probably sound like a huge CD Project Red defender here, like, oh, they did nothing wrong. I'm not trying to say
yeah.
that, but I do understand like the business mindset of why they have chosen to wait
Oh, yeah.
all this time.
Which I actually want to go back real quick to the merch. I will say that like for the Razer Cyberpunk merch that came out, where they made the wireless mouse for it, the super fast one that's supposed to be just as good as a wired mouse, just without the
Hmm.
wire. Um, that I'm okay with because they already had like Razer itself already had that. It's just a recolor and a reskin of it, so it wasn't too
Yeah.
much like thought and stuff into it that could have been put into the game. Like it's stuff that like other thing like the giant, you know, hi, I'm fucking Keanu in a giant
But
ass
that's the thing. I
statue.
don't think that takes away from the production of the game. If anything, the money that comes from that will allow them to hire on more people, so that this crunch time that everyone's freaking
Yeah,
out over, will hopefully go a lot smoother, and people won't be, spending tons and tons of hours on it, and it releases faster. Now, I don't work in the video game industry. I don't know of anybody right now that's close to me that does, so I can't speak on the current like environment. I only go by what the news tells me. So it's not
yeah,
who knows if that's accurate or factual anyways. But
yeah.
in terms of, them making this decision, I want to be hopeful, as, I like the games that CD Projekt Red comes out. I'm a huge fan of the Witcher series, so it'll
I
be
mean,
interesting to me, if not only if it lives up to the hype, but
yeah.
what they do with that momentum if it does.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which I am super excited about the fact that there's not going to be that many bugs. That's what I'm hoping for, fingers crossed, because when they got the green light, they already said day one on patch there will be an update for like a couple of bugs that will be released after the game. That we already know of, and it's the very few bugs that there are. So I was super excited about that. I don't know how true that's going to be now, since they're having to also do some changes to make it fit on the new Xbox and the new PlayStation, but I'm hoping it stays true. Other than that, let's kind of finish up on the Cyberpunk thing. We've spent 22 minutes and move on to Atlas Rogues, and then be able to go down the rest of the list, because we do have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other things that we need to get into before like we end, and we only have like an hour and 30ish minutes, I think, something like that we're gonna do, right, V? So go ahead, let's go ahead and finish up on Cyberpunk. Any last thoughts, words, hopes, anything? Just quickly get it out into the world, make it try and materialize that shit.
I don't really have much to say, but I don't. Is V's microphone not working again?
I think V's not. V's
Yeah.
microphone isn't working again.
I
Nope.
Oh, I I moved her to try and like get her attention. I feel bad. Hi V.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hmm.
Um. So, do you have any finishing words with Cyberpunk? Anything like that?
Super stoked that Keanu's in it. Man is immortal and doesn't age.
Apparently. The only thing I really want to quickly say about it that we kind of skipped over was like, I'm really hoping it doesn't turn into a Kingdom Hearts 3, because Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced around the same time and
Oh
teased
yeah.
around the same time, and Kingdom Hearts 3 ended up being just literally, as I have in the notes, just damn Kingdom
Bam.
Hearts, just damn Cyberpunk. Do not be the same, please. Do not be this great thing in our heads that then on paper and in game we're just shit. We want this to be good, and we love you. Lynn, we're gonna start on Atlas Rogues. Do you have anything you want to lead with it, or do you just want to go quickly with what I have?
You can start, and then I'll just bounce off of whatever you got.
Okay. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I don't remember the exact code name with it, but whenever it's being created by its original like owners, because I forgot the company name, you probably know that it then got bought out by what is their name? Gemzingo or whatever?
It's Gamingo or
Gamigo,
Gamingo,
Gamingo.
yeah.
Yeah, Gamingo Group specifically is their name.
Yeah.
Basically before they were bought out by them, and then it was like the project was reopened I think they said 3 or 4 years after, specifically through, yeah, I'm on the website now. Yeah, so they ended up after about 3 to 4 years afterwards being like, hey, we need a game. We want something that we can work on as a side project to slowly get out, and if it becomes popular, hire more people for it. What do we have any ideas? And the one of the designers for the project before it was named Atlas Rogues was like, hey, there's this project we're working on. It was basically the PvE of Atlas Reactor,
hmm
which was also going to have a revamp in the PvP later on. That was like the whole thing. And they're like, all right, let's go off of that. They ended up, and of course, there are people that were still working for them that worked on this project beforehand. So they put everyone on it from what they've said, and a few people that were on the, like, not a part of the project, of course. And then after a while, because of like the petition specifically, I don't remember who opened the petition, but there were close to 300,000 signatures on a petition to have Atlas Reactor reinstated and rebrought to this to Steam's webpage, as is, no changes. If they could at least do that and make it peer to peer if they have to.
hmm
And because of that, they were like, okay, this looks like it'd have a lot of traction. Let's start teasing it. And they started teasing it on Twitter. People went fucking bonkers on Twitter. Like, Lynn, you saw, I'm pretty sure Lynn can list off a couple of tweets where she was like, literally, like, I need to calm my tits.
Yeah, it was really
Um,
exciting. Yeah.
it was super exciting. Like, they played this very well, but when they saw all this traction that they were getting from a game that they thought was quote dead, they rehired some of the people that worked on Atlas Reactor. Which if y'all don't know what Atlas Reactor, Lynn can quickly describe the game. I didn't play it firsthand. I just know a brief description of it, but Lynn can definitely tell you specifically what Atlas Reactor was about. So I'll let Lynn take over here for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Atlas Reactor is it's a genre, is a turn-based tactics, but it was basically a 4v4 PvP turn-based game. So, it was very different than anything that was on the market. Now I would say the closest thing that would come to it from my mind is like an XCOM, but even then, XCOM doesn't really have like PvP team-based gameplay, so it's still like not anywhere close to what Atlas was. So it was very, Tryon Worlds was the original host of the game, and it is really sad that they couldn't get the traction or marketing for the game just because it was really good. But from what I can tell, the Atlas Rogues isn't going to be that exact game, because it won't be PvP, but it will be from what I can tell from the trailers and what the developers have been saying, it is going to be, you and you or a friend, so you can play it by yourself or with a friend, co-op versus, AI, or like, so PvE essentially.
Yeah.
um, and what I'm thinking, I'm hoping that the trailer that they released is, because from what the trailer they released, that looks like Atlas Reactor
hmm
gameplay. And what I'm hoping is that they're not just reusing assets of gameplay to trick like old fans like me to thinking that it's the exact same game,
Yeah.
essentially just with PvE. I'm hoping, I want that to be that. Like, the rogues that they have on the website listed, I've only played
Yeah.
2 out of the ones listed, and these are all the old characters, so it's not like these are new characters. These are all old assets that came from the old game, which I'm totally fine with. If they wanna re-release all the old freelancers, which is what their characters are called in that game, they want to release all the freelancers and and not add any new stuff. I'm totally okay with that. If they're just going
They
to repackage it in a PvE sense where it's like you and
Mhm.
your friend versus, this PvE. Because I think the game can work in that, but if they're gonna kind of mix it up and start adding a lot of this like new characters and then I think older fans are gonna
Yeah.
be very disappointed because
Which, by
I'm
the
gonna
way,
be honest,
oh,
yeah, it's
I
it's
I was
exciting, but whew.
yeah. I was gonna say though, like on the website itself, it does say that they are releasing a single new one. Apparently, they were in like trailers and stuff. They were talked about, but they weren't ever like a character. From what they've mentioned, I don't know anything about the first one, so I have no idea who that would be. I don't. I
It's
like. I
probably like a story. It's probably a story-based character, which is fine as long I that doesn't matter to me. Again, they can add new people, but I feel like the old freelancers should come
Mhm.
first,
Oh
and
yeah, no,
those
they
ones
are.
should be made available first, before. But again, like it'll
Yeah.
depend on how, this new crew wants to run the game. Like the original Atlas Reactor
Mhm.
has given me many, many like happy memories. It was an incredibly fun game. It was a game that you could play, and if you needed to just step away, walk away and go do something else and come back to it. Or
Yeah.
it was a game where if you're playing competitive or PvP, um it was, like very fast-paced gameplay.
Yeah.
It was
You could
incredibly
choose
fun.
your
And
own play style with it, basically. You could go fast or
yeah,
you could go slow. Like, it
yeah.
just depended on you and what you wanted to play. Because, like, I think you said there was an AI mode in the original, and then there
Yep, there was
was
versus
PvP and
AI.
competitive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, versus AI, quick
Um,
play, competitive.
which it does. Whenever the website first came out, when they first announced Atlas Rogues, it said turn based or same time turn based PvE combat, and they recently changed it to turn based PvE combat. So we actually have a friend that was talking about it, that I thought was wrong, and then I went back to the website and I was like, wait, they changed it. So he didn't know that it was too. So it's weird they didn't announce it on the Twitter. You would think that they would have. But it says ever growing roster of heroes. New freelancers join the ranks as you play through each session, which you are unlocking old characters, and apparently there is like a new one that's coming out, and they're thinking about releasing more depending on like the people them like how people react to the characters. From what they've said, they're all doing this off of like how people react to see like whether or not they're gonna go with that, whether they're not. They're talking about re-adding the PvP because of people already being like, well, we want the PvP back too. Which I don't blame them. Like if I loved a game so much that like there were issues or that they weren't that they're only making a PvE. Like that'd be as if Overwatch completely got rid of PvP and only came out the PvE mode. Don't get me wrong, I would enjoy it, but I would miss the PvP. So I don't I don't fault them there. Like that is definitely something I would be like, please bring back.
Yeah, no, I don't fault them or I don't fault other longtime loyal fans for wanting that, because obviously like there was an esports, it was very brief, for this game, and there were, a lot of competitive players, for this game. So I'm
Yeah.
not trying to, discredit, those players, but as someone who did play, I played a lot of quick play and a lot of versus AI, and I prefer honestly versus versus AI only because it was very relaxing. It gave you time to think about things and think about your choices. It was more
Yeah.
methodical. You could, chat with, who you were playing with, which, I played with a crew of four most of the time, or it was between
Mhm.
two and four. So the fact that this is going to be a co-op multiplayer, that means more to me than PvP right now. As long as it's not just a single player experience and I can play with my friends, that's going
Yeah.
to mean more to me in the long run than
Oh yeah.
PvP. If PvP wants to come later, like that's cool. But like right now, I think they just need to focus on, really buttoning up the game. Bringing back the
Yeah.
things that people love, which is obviously the characters and the turn-based combat that people really, that's what really defines this game. I'm
And
telling
that's
you,
what everyone
it
loves.
really is good. That like the
Which
original
when
Atlas
I
Reactor
saw how it
turn-based is
played,
good.
it blew my mind. I loved it, like, immediately, like, my brain was like, "Dude,
Mhm.
I need this game," and then you're like, "By the
Mhm.
way, it closed. It no longer runs or anything, and, like, you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
even download it." And I was like, "Really? What the fuck?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So,
it
like I
looks
said,
something
there's
I would be so
nothing
into.
like it. There's nothing like it.
Literally.
There are a
Like,
few
the
games that have come
close
out since then that are kinda close, but it's not.
the
Yeah.
closest thing I can think of is the old Final Fantasy games that were like checkerboards whenever you went into a battle where you moved them and then shot.
Mhm.
Like, that's about it, and they weren't, like,
Mhm.
same time. It was each person had their own turn.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's as close as I've ever played to it, and I was so ready to, like, get into it. And I actually went back, like you said, there's a brief esports. I don't watch esports, but I loved watching the esports for it.
Mhm.
Like, I went
Yeah.
back and watched all the shit that, like, they had already recorded and
Because
everything,
it's
and
interesting. It's like I
it
said, it's
was
interesting to see
so
the
interesting.
yeah, it's really like I said, it's everyone's making decisions and how
Mhm.
you're like, "Oh no, go here, go here. Oh, this person has this." It's just like I I liked when I would explain it to friends who hadn't played it. I'm like, "It's just like Overwatch, but everybody's ability, ultimates, and movement is turn-based. So you
Yeah.
just like so oh, if your ultimate is on a cooldown or this is on a cooldown or this you need to plan ahead and like we only have so many turns to do this. So it's
Yeah.
basically exactly like Overwatch, but put it on like a chessboard and make it again turn-based. And that's essentially
Honestly, I would compare it to being like TFT meets Overwatch, but you control them.
I don't play TFT, so I can't
Um,
I
Yeah.
can't. I'm sorry.
it's basically a checkerboard.
Yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, V. So you've played TFT, like, it like you get what I'm trying to say, and you've also played the Final Fantasy games where it's like it's a checkerboard, like those three games put together, but it being like everyone moves at the same turn and does everything at the same time in that turn is how it plays and how it feels. And I was so excited to play it, and then of course Lynn had to get me into the game after it closed.
So
Because I joined voice and she's like, "I miss my game." I was just like, "What?" And she was like, "The game is so good."
very distraught.
There for a second, I thought, "Oh, she lost like her Steam account with it, and it costs money, whatever." And then you decided to tell me like it was gone forever.
Yeah. I was a
um,
Sue Ren, Aurora, Isadora main, and
hell yeah!
if those characters don't come back, I'll be very, very sad.
From what
Because
it says, every character's coming back.
and I like I said, I'm very excited for it, and I hope that it works out
So
this time.
so you're saying you're hoping that it ends up being a I had the game name on the tip of my tongue and then
And it just was like,
shocking.
"Bye."
I was like,
Yeah. It was just like later. Risk of Rain too. How it has some of the original characters, but it also has some new characters.
Yes. It's gonna be something like that, yeah.
yeah, I would like I said, if they want to add new stuff, I would be okay with new stuff as long as the
Yeah.
old stuff comes back first. Because again, like it to me, it would be kind of a slap in the face as a longtime fan of the game to
Mhm.
come back to it and then have it be like, we have all this brand new shiny things, but it's nothing like any of the old nice shiny things that you had, and we're not bringing that back, and we're really
You no
sorry. But look at
longer
the new
have the
shiny
shiny
stuff.
things.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, I don't
Yeah.
really care about that. I just want my old game back. Thanks.
Yay,
Like, I
thanks,
just wanna
Gib.
play this game.
Yeah, I just want to play this one.
Dude, that's so
Sorry.
frustrating, which actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm having the same feeling with, Monday Night Combat and Super Monday Night Combat. The servers for them are down, and they're no longer being sold. And so, like,
Mm.
whenever you talked about, like, Atlas Reactor, I thought of that, and I was like, I don't think they'll ever come out with a third Monday Night Combat, because they had Monday Night Combat, Super Monday Night Combat, which I love Super Monday Night Combat, but I didn't have it only came out on computer. So, I didn't get to play it until right when the servers were dying,
Yeah,
and it sucks. It sucks. But
yeah.
if I ever get the chance to play it because they re-release it, I'm gonna play the fuck out of it.
Yeah. My hope is also that they with Atlas, and I know that or with Atlas Rogues, is that they'll take into account, the long time fans that have been really loyal to this IP
Oh yeah.
and think about, because I mean, right before this game shut down, I've like worked up like the credits to get this super hard to get skin, and it's like that's a many hours into the game grinding, and it's like there's things like that. Those are happy memories, and that's time that I wouldn't like want to be replaced, but at the same time, it'll feel really bad, you know, to have them not bring the nice things back, like just little things like that. I think
Yeah.
would be important. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm interested to see where they take it and if they,
They still
stick
haven't
to their word.
announced they still haven't announced, by the way, if it's pay or if it's free.
I'm sure it'll be just like the last one where well, the last one I think they went free to play and then it was pay.
Mhm.
And then I think this time they'll probably do the opposite. I hope they learn their lesson this time and not stick with a free to play model. I think they should
Yeah.
have if
I
people pay
mean,
for it.
don't get me wrong, free to play is definitely better now, and if they follow in the footsteps of all the other free to play games where it's like cosmetics like crazy to keep the income coming, yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
could, but
they really
honestly,
need to keep up with the cosmetics though, because
yeah.
last time they didn't. So
And it's a small team, so I don't expect them to, which is one of the reasons why whenever I get paid before the 18th, I'm saving enough money. I'm literally saving like $160 just in case it's paid so that I can buy it. Because,
yeah, we'll
like,
just see.
I
Yeah, we'll
want it.
see. Because it's on the 18th, so very
Yeah, it's
soon.
on the 18th. Very
Very
soon.
exciting. So
Oh, by the way, for the podcast, Lynn might be coming back. Just depends, all up to her. But we will be talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and Atlas Rogues again after playing them. We will come back with actual gameplay in it, and no, it's not going to be like a day of gameplay. We're going to play at least a minimum of a week of each game before we talk about it.
yeah, I own Cyberpunk already. So as soon as that sucker comes
I
out,
have to pre-order it when I get paid.
I'm grinding the crap out of it. So
Unfortunately, I gotta find a way to scrounge the money for
mm-mm.
Cyberpunk.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
laughing though at V. Did you see that the main character's name is V?
Yeah, you do.
Oh my
Yeah. So
god.
I cannot
I was like, that's interesting. I feel like
I
that.
cannot
Hell
tell
yeah.
you how excited I get when there's a character with a name like V or Velvet,
Mm,
because like,
yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 had the character V,
Yes.
which he was a little
Yeah.
twinkie bitch, and I didn't really like him, and I knew where that was going before it happened, but anyway, and then Tales of Berseria, the main character's name is just straight up Velvet, and she's, like, got the long black hair, and she's badass, and I'm just like, "I'm gonna project onto this character so hard."
Yeah, and I'm glad that they made it so that you can customize, the main protagonist too. That's really nice. I'm excited about that. So, both games I'm very excited for. So,
Me.
I'm glad you guys brought me on here to talk about them because it's huge hype and I'm very excited.
Oh,
So,
hell yeah.
Well, glad you
And
could come.
hell yeah, I'm
yeah,
super glad you could come. And before she goes, if y'all want to see Lynn in another podcast as a guest, let us know. And if you have a specific topic you want her to be a part of in one of the next podcasts, also let us know, whether it be through a rating, a comment on the YouTube video that's going to be going up, anything. Like whatever you're listening on or watching it on, let us know. And we'll be sure to try and get her back on.
yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, guys. Labor and View was very, very nice talking
No
with you guys.
So it's just
problem.
nice
Thank
talking
you
to
for
you,
hanging
Lynn.
out.
And yeah, you
Bye.
guys enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Bye. All right, so it's just me and V now. We've got two more games that we're about to go over that are soon to come out. And wait, we have official date now for one of them, right?
We have official dates for just about everything except Cyberpunk, which Cyberpunk has the alleged date of December 10th,
But I mean,
but we'll
it's
see.
technically a permanent date. That's what they said, but we'll see. That's why we're saying
But they've already
allegedly.
pushed it back.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
Atlas Rogues comes out on the 18th, I think.
Yes, it
But
does.
the
Well, the early access comes out on the 18th.
fair.
Um.
So the next game that we're going to talk about is one that I'm personally very excited for,
I'm excited for
Hyrule
it
Warriors:
too.
Age of Calamity. So
Ooh.
I have played Breath of the Wild probably 4 times now. Twice on master mode, twice on normal. Um, I had, because I wrote over it, a
Ooh.
100% file. Um, but I wanted to play and there was nothing to do, so I kind of just overwrote it, and now I'm sad because I don't have it anymore, but I wasn't about to go buy a whole new game cartridge,
I
and you
was
can't have multiple save files.
I was actually gonna work on making or getting 100% completed, and then my friend, she actually wanted to borrow the game. So she's actually borrowing the game right now. So
Oh,
she's playing
no.
it. So I was like, okay, the 100% can wait. The 100% can wait. Because
Yeah,
like
the
she
100%
hardly
wait 'cause you
plays
played it.
she hardly plays any video games too, so I was just super happy that she was gonna like get into this one.
Oh, oh,
Um
yeah,
and
absolutely.
then of course she's halfway through the game and she's actually enjoying it, and then she's like, my boyfriend's stole it, is now using it his Switch and said he'll give it back to me when he's done.
No, no, no. No, contract broken, give it back, give it back. You're not allowed to
No,
let people
well,
borrow things you're borrowing.
what was funny? No, they're together, and I said y'all two can
I
play it.
don't
So I told them
care.
both that they could play it. But it was funny that she was like, because I warned her too. I said, I know how much he's into like Zelda and everything. He's gonna steal it from you the second you get used to the game, and then you're gonna come back and not be used to it. And she's like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try not let that happen. I was like, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna laugh my ass off,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
it
so
happened.
anyway,
Okay,
so the look at the game, uh, I'm few things. So apparently we are time traveling. There's a cute
to the past,
little
right?
yes, to the past when the original champions are
Mhm.
alive. So, um, oh god, Rivali, is it Daruk? Uh,
Let me.
Urbosa and Mifa, they're all alive. You have this really, really cute, tiny little uh
Link.
guardian. No, you
Oh,
have this really
Guardian.
cute
Oh,
guardian,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
he's white, and he's like, oh my god, he's like up to Link's knee, maybe. Anyway, so
Maybe.
yeah, so the preview trailer has him jumping through a portal of some kind, and you end up in the past, and all the champions are alive, and Impa is young and hot, and we all know exactly where her granddaughter got her looks from, because damn lady.
Honestly.
Listen, I'm gay.
Also, freaking look at Urbosa. Like, she's just
Right?
like,
She
I'm
could
gonna
break
murder
me.
you all.
Like, she could break me, and I'd say thank you. But
Honestly,
so
same.
apparently you can play as Impa, you can play as Zelda who uses the Sheikah Slate offensively, like, not even like how Link does it, with the bombs and stuff, but, like,
Yeah.
just straight up, like, kills people with the Sheikah Slate, and I'm just like, "Lady, how? Teach me your ways." Also,
Like,
if this is truly in the past, this has to be before Zelda gets her power to seal the darkness, so she doesn't have that that
yeah.
celestial power that Zelda normally has, so she has to be relying entirely on, like, physical defensive capabilities, which is really interesting to me because we've never seen a Zelda. I guess technically in Breath of the Wild we
Hmm.
did see her before she had her powers, but even then we knew that she got her powers
Yeah.
and that
Oh,
she's the thing keeping Ganon, in the castle.
yeah. What I think actually is gonna be the thing is like she's had the power, like in my what I think is gonna have my speculation. I think she's gonna have the power the whole like all
Potential
along.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, potential spoiler alert. Like I think that she's gonna have it like the whole time,
Well,
and
like
then
it's
it just
within her. She
awakens. Like
just
she
has
finally
yes,
realizes.
like she has it in her. She does. She just has to figure out how to use it. And her mom was supposed to teach her, but her mom died, so she never got the chance.
Yeah.
So like she has the power. She always did, but like she doesn't
Mhm.
have access to it. So like either way, she's still not gonna be
Yeah.
able to
Which,
use it.
by
And
the
then
way, one of her unique abilities is she can actually place like Sheikah runes on the floor to activate the thing, and just like have like blocks come out of nowhere and like explode into ice and crap.
that sounds so cool. Um, but another thing, a potential spoiler warning.
Hmm.
Um, so Legend of Zelda has a tumultuous history of rewriting its own history and having separate timelines. And
Literally.
theoretically, Breath of the Wild was supposed to converge all of these timelines into one because of
Yeah.
the Leviathan quest. You had
Yes.
one in the snow, in the desert, in the field. Yeah, anyway. So it's supposed to converge all these timelines, but if they're time traveling, they're gonna make more timelines. And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
already so confusing. Like,
and can I just
bruh.
say, if they try and do like time traveling and all these timelines together, plus, okay, so first off, they mentioned that some things that has to do with the amiibo specifically are kind of canon to some degree.
Mhm.
This has amiibo support, and they're gonna be time traveling and all this other stuff. I'm gonna be confused out of my brain if like the amiibo unlock other story parts and like it just
Okay,
like
but if that's the case, I'm just gonna straight up buy those amiibo cards that don't actually have the amiibos on them. It's like a 20 buck pack. But like anyway,
yeah.
I'm not salty if that happens because that's just locking content behind a paywall, and that's just dumb, and I hate that.
But
Um,
literally everyone does it, and it sucks.
I know. And the fucked up part is I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Like, I already have this pre-ordered. I'm gonna buy the amiibos if they're locked. Like, if they lock
Mhm.
storyline, I'm gonna buy the amiibos. But, so
Honestly, I
okay.
think it's gonna be like you know how like in Resident Evil you can go around and find like journals and stuff, and it's like
Mhm.
tidbits of like story that you wouldn't normally find. I feel like that's probably what they're gonna be doing with the amiibo.
That'd be cool. Like, you could see snippets of other people's
Yeah.
pasts or oh, you
Or
know what's
just read
really
about it
cool?
and stuff.
If
What?
that would be cool. It'd be really cool if you could get, like, little side dungeons that don't really have anything to do with the story, but just something, like, tied to this
Oh, that's something like
character,
just
and, like,
makes
you
you
can have
think
them as, like, a
them.
companion,
Yes.
and, like, you can interact with this person, but it's not real,
I'm pretty
That'd be cool.
I'm pretty sure it even tells you that like it's single player, but like so many people are speculating that it might be co-op, like the first Zelda co-op, because
Okay,
of the
so
teams and the
technically
people you can have.
Four Sword was the first Zelda co-op. Anyone can I will This is a hill I will die on. Um,
I got it. I have the shovel ready to bury you in case you do die.
that's fine. No, I mean, Four Sword was literally the first co-op for Legend of Zelda. Like, you
Yeah.
literally could play with 4 people. So, not the first co-op, but the first interesting co-op. The
Yeah.
first
Okay.
co-op where Link isn't, like, 8 pixels tall.
I mean, a bunch of people were basically saying that that game is like not relevant in their eyes in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm just like, wow, it was that
See, I
bad.
don't understand why people, just they trash on certain Zelda games so hard, like Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, like, people just hate on those. I'm just like, "Why? It was so cute."
Yeah. But like, okay, so I'm just super excited that there's gonna be multiple characters and you're not only playing
Yeah,
Link
I
because,
love Link and, like, bruh, I would
but
be
bitch,
so
it's
stoked
called
to be
Zelda
able
for a
to
reason. Let
play
me play with Zelda. Let me be Zelda.
let me play as Zelda, please. Also, I wanna play as Mipha, I wanna play as Impa, but, like, Mipha.
Yeah.
Mipha, honey.
Honestly, if it ends up being co-op, I 100% want to play with you, and
Oh,
I'll be Zelda.
absolutely.
I'll be
That's
Zelda.
fine. I'll be Impa, and we can be lesbians.
Yes. I mean, basically you IRL. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, something that I just thought of. So if we're going to the past,
Hmm.
and if we potentially rewrite the future champions aren't gonna be a thing. So like
Wait.
Teva
Or
and
what if it's tying them into it? What if the whole thing is tying everything together?
that doesn't make sense though, because
Like,
like in Breath of the Wild, the champion who holds the sword that seals the darkness dies, and he's gone for like what is it, 100 years, 1,000 years?
yeah, but what if he like
These zeros
act?
nowhere on that.
What if it actually was Zelda though, or like Link, and then they didn't actually die? It was just they thought he died.
Well, that's what happens in Breath of the Wild. Everyone assumes Link died, but Zelda put him in the Chamber of Resurrection, and he comes back.
Listen, it's been a while. It really
but
has.
but yeah, like so if they go to the past and they alter the future, then the future champions are no longer going to be a thing, and I'm going to be really sad because that means
Mhm.
Sidon is gone. My fish husband is just gone.
No, my fish husband, bitch.
Bitch, fuck you. He's got 2 dicks. It's fine.
We can share. I call left one because I don't got no rights.
Anyway,
But would it be his left or
Riju
our right?
and
Wait.
Teba. Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, like Riju, Teba, Sidon. I don't remember the Goron's name because he wasn't really important.
Oh.
He's not.
I mean, okay, yeah.
Like, he's not even a soft, cuddly giant. He's rock hard. He's not good for cuddling. He doesn't have a good personality. His story wasn't engaging. He doesn't matter.
Wow, I feel like you're personally attacking this poor man's.
I am. Anyway, but like, so they're all gonna like disappear, or at least if there is a version of them left in the future, it's not gonna be the same version. And if Link goes back to the future, if it is him
Yeah.
anymore.
Which, by the way, as soon as we're done with this, I have a bit of a thing with the new Kingdom Hearts game that's gonna.
Okay, well that's next on the list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like
Okay,
as soon
well
as we're done with this.
Okay, so right, what was I saying? Right. Okay, so the whole time traveling thing. So like either there's now going to be 2 timelines because supposedly Breath of the Wild tied them all together, or there's just 2 more timelines and nothing really got tied together at all. And like, who knows? There might be some, time traveling timeline collision where everyone gets to meet their ancestors, and Sidon finally gets to reunite with Mipha and tell her he loves her and that he's sorry that he couldn't protect her.
Okay, listen, we're not supposed to cry. Can you stop right now before I cry?
I'm crying.
I know you're crying, but that makes me cry. Other people crying plus sad things equals me crying. You need to stop.
I know. Okay, so that was Hyrule Warriors. And next up is Kingdom Hearts: A Melody of Memory. And you said you had something to say about that.
So it's basically just a Beat Saber game. Not even kidding you.
It's a rhythm game.
100%, and it's just going over old storylines. They officially announced that it was just old storylines. It's literally a fun game for everyone to finally. Hi, Cinnabon. But it's literally a rhythm game, so everyone can like see all of the cutscenes in order if they do all the songs in order. So that way they can understand the storyline.
But they previewed that I could play as Kairi.
I mean, you can choose what characters you have.
So essentially, I can play as Kairi, just not the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm still getting it. It's my birthday gift. I can.
Oh yeah, no, I still want it too. I'm just a little angry on how. I mean, there's some very, very beautiful things with it, and like, trust me, I'm kind of cuckoo over it too. Like, I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm just mad that it's that
it's a rhythm game.
No, I'm not even mad that it's a rhythm game. That it's just old story only. They literally said there's only gonna be like 2 or 3 cutscenes that are new. That's all. They said that's it.
You know what? As long as I get some cutscenes that tell me what the fuck happened to Sora, I'm cool.
Honestly, yeah, same.
You can't hurt my boy. You can't hurt my sunshine boy and get away with it, Nomura. What do you think you are doing? Like, you can't just leave him stuck in a crystal prison.
Which, by the way, the new stuff.
Not okay.
The new stuff. Literally, the second you get to the new stuff, it's literally Kairi and fuck, now I forgot his name because my heart's pounding. I'm like, dude, this game. Like,
white hair.
Yes.
Riku.
Yeah, Riku. I literally was about to say Ronka for some fucking reason until you said Riku. I was like, where the fuck did Ronka come from? But no, I was like specifically like it's just gonna be them two, and occasionally like Donald and Goofy, like Sora.
Listen, I could. Okay. Just scooting over to Kingdom Hearts 3 for a little bit. I could have gone the entire game without Donald and Goofy. Thank you very much. I would have much rather have seen literally anyone from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'd rather see fucking
And the
Yuffie again.
one Final Fantasy room that they give you, that there's a door that you just one door you could go through, just one little door, and then it's the
Right.
outworld, and it's all of Final
And
Fantasy.
but like that's the fucked up part is like you only get to see it as Riku.
Yeah.
And this is like after Sora's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to
Spoiler,
throw
by
up a
the
spoiler
way.
warning. I shouldn't have to throw up a spoiler warning for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's been out for a while. Anyway.
Yeah. But okay.
But
so
like literally, I would have preferred any Final Fantasy character over having to run around with Donald and
literally,
Goofy again. Because like in Birth by Sleep, they gave us 3 protagonists that didn't require stupid Disney companions, and like,
mhm.
oh, that made me so happy. I would so much rather just solo fight as Sora, or like
Yeah.
just use that one Disney fuck from the world. That's fine. It's me and this
Yeah.
guy. But no.
So in short, though, real quick, our 2 questions for Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. It turns out it's not Kingdom Hearts 3. It's Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
Melody of Memory,
Melody.
because
But
it's all
so
of the
I have 2
games.
questions.
Yes.
Is it gonna give me good lore? And do I actually get to play as Kairi? Like, physically run around and smack shit as Kairi? I don't care if I get to play the rhythm game as Kairi. Can I punch shit as Kairi?
Lore? Yes. Punch shit as Kairi? You'll miss attacks if you miss beats. So technically, I guess it's a yes, but it's not as much of a yes as you would
No,
want.
I want to run around as Kairi like I got to run around as Aqua, okay? Like, it's
Dude,
not
Aqua's
hard,
dodge
Nomura.
though. Aqua's dodge though is like
Right.
amazing. Anyways,
I love playing as Aqua. Aqua is actually my favorite from Birth by Sleep.
we actually only have about 30 more minutes left of the podcast, so
Okay, so
we're gonna have to quickly get through these. So we have an indie game named Fields of Mystra. Then we have the Monster Hunter movie,
Mystria. Okay.
or Mystria,
we can save like the movie stuff for next time.
we can end with the movie, and then we can do Baldur's Gate
and then other stuff.
And Digimon like later in the Tales series later. But we will answer viewer questions.
Yeah, I was thinking we just end at the movie and leave Baldur for.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
So we'll leave Baldur's Gate and below for next time.
Okay.
I will tell y'all now though, we will still be answering viewer questions. So if you want to fill the chat with questions for whenever we're done with Fields of Mystria and the Monster Hunter movie, or just topics you want to hear us quickly answer over, we'll be doing that for about 5-10 minutes after we finish these last 2 things. Okay.
Sounds good. So the next upcoming game, it doesn't have a release date or anything. It's still hard in development.
We just know it's super fucking cute.
It's super cute. So it's called Fields of Mystria. It's FIELDSOFMISTRIA over on Twitter. They have super cute graphics. It's a pixel farming game like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. You get like super cute romanceable interest partners things. Like, oh my gosh, these characters are so cute. The horse that you get to run around on is so cute. Like, oh my god, they also have like a 12-foot skeleton that you can throw on.
Yeah, something like that. Which at the moment, basically their quick summary of like the story is like Mystria, an idyllic village tucked between lush forest and sea, has offered a homestead to any capable adventurer. So like, you know, it's kind of got like the RPG adventure thing going for the story. I don't know if there'll actually be an RPG type gameplay, you know. But it said, but yeah, like adventure willing to help rebuild after an earthquake causing widespread damage, and strange new magic flows through the land. It has many features of creating your character with dozens of customizable options, kind of like Stardew Valley, which I think you have noted.
Yeah.
farming, fishing, mining, and crafting your way to revitalize the town. There's storylines of every single
So
villager.
I hate.
Oh, are you
Oh
good?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Your mic
Can you
just
hear me?
like went weird for a second. That's why I asked.
Okay. Yeah, no, like it's super like Stardew Valley, and I hate to compare any upcoming indie game to a game that's already out, especially one that was also an indie game but is now mainstream. Like it's just it gives off that same vibe, and if it gives off the same
Mhm.
vibe like when actually playing it, this game should be a smash hit.
And we
Cuz
don't
like I
mean
love I
exactly same vibe. We mean like the cozy feel, the relaxing like
well yeah, that's what I
gameplay,
mean like
stuff like
the
that. We're
same
not meaning
vibe.
like, oh my god, it's a farming simulator that's RPG. Like, no, that's not exactly what I mean. Like, yes, that's kind of the genre, but like it has a nice cozy feel to it. Like me just now learning about it, maybe what 2-ish days ago. Like
Yeah, I've been
it gives
following
off,
this Twitter for like, oh god, like at least 6 months.
yeah.
Okay, I I I just kind of randomly saw one of their updates for the blacksmith character whose name I can't actually remember because
It
I'm
is
not actually super
March.
into the game's lore. Because I'm kind of trying to leave a little mystery for
Yeah.
what's coming up
Um,
when the game actually
which
releases.
they only have
And
what,
like
5 characters? Yeah, they only have
oh my
5
god, like
characters like
he looks super
announced.
cute. The graphics are super cute. Like even the face uh
I love the
pictures,
art
I
style they
guess. I
went
don't know
with.
words.
It's very
Like
it's
they're
a
just really cute and they're still pixel,
yeah.
but like it's the art is super cute. Artist, mwah, good job. I love it. I can't wait to see more.
And like for the art itself, it's like a mixture of
But
anime and
unfortunately
pixel. Oh,
until
can you hear me?
the until more comes out, we won't really be able to give a good rundown of what's happening.
Okay. Uh yeah, no, there's like a rundown with it and everything that just it seems super clean. The art style is nice. It's not too pixelated. It gives me kind of like a Pokemon and Final Fantasy feel whenever it comes to like how it looks. Um but like the art style for the characters itself has that anime style, like when they're talking and it has like the text box and then like the character model. It seems like that. Can you hear me now, by the way? Um in short, the game definitely looks like something that would be 100% playable and something you should check out. I will retract my statement if the gameplay doesn't meet up to the art itself, because the art is what's definitely carrying it right now in like the looks department and all that. As soon as V can hear me again, we'll be moving on from Fields of Mysteria to Monster Hunter movie. I have quite a few things to say about the movie. Uh, let's see here. Can you hear me now, V? Hello, hello. Technical difficulties, guys. Promise they'll be fixed. While she continues to figure that out, actually, I'm just gonna continue. So she can hop back in with the Monster Hunter whenever she's back. Her headset is dying specifically, in case any of y'all were wondering. So the Monster Hunter movie. I will leave Gore Magala for V. She 100% just wants to go ham on it whenever it comes to Monster Hunter. Oh, I thought she messaged me. I had to check it real fast. Okay. So with Monster Hunter movie itself, it doesn't look like it's gonna be anything like the game. Um it definitely gives off like a what is it? How would I describe it? It gives off of a military campaign vibe, to say the least. Hi V, can you hear me? I'm gonna take that as a no then. It gives off a very like
Hello?
hello. Hello, hello. V. Hello? Can you hear
Hello?
me now? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Uh,
It's being weird. Um, but one of my favorite, the only reason I'm gonna tell you right now, literally the only reason why I'm going to watch the Monster Hunter movie is because of Militia Govovich. I think I said her last name correctly. I'm not sure. I probably butchered it. She was in the Resident Evil movies, and I love her. I am a gay man, but God, the things I'd let her do to me.
hello?
Hello.
Hi.
There we go. So
Okay.
we're talking about Monster Hunter movie now. I went over like like how the graphics and stuff looked for Fields of Mystria, and
Okay.
how like it gave off a really nice like Final Fantasy and like Pokemon pixel art
Oh,
vibe,
yeah,
while
absolutely. Like the
also
originals.
and I was gonna say also with like the anime like feel whenever they talk and it
Hmm.
has like their figure. Like I was talking about that and I didn't go too in depth with it mainly because of the fact like there's not much about it at the moment.
Okay. All right. So then you're moved on to the Monster Hunter
Monster
movie?
Hunter, which I'm talking about right now, currently why I would watch it, which is literally just because of Militia Govovich, which
Mila
I probably
Mila Jovovich, yeah.
Mila um
She goes
which
by Mila Jovovich in the
Mila.
States.
Oh, okay. Mila, which I fucking love her, literally would let her crush my bones, do whatever she wanted with me. Like she would be she's the whole reason why I'd watch it because other
Uh,
than her, it looks like a military campaign for the US.
so actually, I was watching a few trailers. So supposedly the plot of the movie is these runes get uncovered in the desert
Mhm.
and it makes a portal to the world of Monster Hunter. And they
Monster
end
Hunter
up
World
having
or just
to
Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter. It doesn't specifically say world. So
But
like
we'll be able to tell when we watch whether or not
yeah.
it looks like World or
Um
not.
so the monsters that are prevalent in the trailer are
Mhm.
what is it? Rathalos or Rathian, whichever one is the male.
Rathalos, it's the Rathalos,
Yeah, there's
your
a Rathalos, a Diablos,
favorite
and then shush you bitches,
Gormagalos.
shush,
Mm.
bitch, you ruined my thing,
Okay, I'm sorry.
bitch. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me like that.
I'm just excited to say more Gormagala because it
Okay, well
makes
I
you
was
go
excited
nuts.
too. Bitch, if I'm like, oh, this is a cool point, I want to be like, oh, look, this is a cool point. You're gonna make me cry now.
I'm sorry.
You should be. But yeah, so they have Rathalos, Diablos, and some Aptonoth in the
Don't
trailer,
they have
and then
both male and female Diablos too? Like it's male and female. They have both.
well,
Like,
they don't. There's no dimorphism in
well,
the Diablos.
I saw the brown one, and then I
There
saw
might
the
be a
black
black
one.
Diablos, but it might also be a corrupted Diablos because of Gormagala.
True, but like the black ones are supposed to be female, so I wasn't sure if they had both male and female. Yeah, that
Well,
whole
that's a reason to watch the movie.
yeah, that's definitely a reason to watch. Probably not like a big one, but still a reason.
But yeah, so it has three types of monsters from Monster Hunter that date all the way back to the very first Monster Hunter, and then they
Oh
brought
yeah,
in Gormagala, which is more towards like the four ultimate, I think, is where he debuted.
it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, so the movie basically has Mila Jovovich's character and the rest of her squad trying to find their way back to their world and destroy these runes so that the monsters can't come through and break everything. So like
Oh, I saw something like that in the trailer where she was like, "We need to make sure they can't get through." So I figured it was gonna be something like, "Oh, they're trying to get into the real world or something, or they're accidentally getting there." Kind of like in Monster Hunter, where it's like it showed up. It's not supposed to be here. Why is it here? I forgot what it
Well,
was specifically.
it's not like, "Oh, this video game's coming to life." It's more like an alternate
Oh yeah, no, like that.
realm.
Yeah, I was more talking about like in the video game they took like from Monster Hunter World in the video game where it was like this is normally in the old world. Why is it in the new world?
Well, yeah, they just
Like
migrated.
where
Bitch,
it's
pay
like they
attention to the
just
plot.
ended up here. Well, no, that one specifically didn't. There's a whole mission over it, and it's like that one specifically didn't migrate. It got lost, and it ended up there by accident because of some like rift. I think it is like a wind or a water current like dragged it off from its like pack or whatever. It was an optional thing, but that so I was like, okay, so they're taking from that like kind of that thing where it's like, oh, it stumbled into this thing by accident. I'm dumb. Oh well, whatever.
Anyway.
But what you were saying with the okay, so they're stopping it from coming over, and that's about all we know, correct?
Yeah, until we watch the movie, like
Yeah.
we won't have any set
When does it come out?
knowledge.
I'm gonna Google that real fast.
I couldn't find a release date for the Monster Hunter movie.
It just says 2020 film. That's all it says.
Yeah, I think it's December 30th.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
no,
I'm
yeah,
getting.
December 30th, 2020. Oh, the director was Paul W.S. Anderson.
All right.
He's made some good movies. I mean, he actually made all the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
So, and Event Horizon, if I remember correctly.
Event Horizon wasn't bad.
That was a really old movie though. That came out I think a year after I was born.
He also did the Mortal Kombat.
Did
He
he?
did the original Alien versus Predator movie. I don't know if he did the sequel, which was
Mhm.
awful. He did Pandorum, which I think is like one
Mhm.
of my favorite horror
Ooh.
movies.
By the way, we do have a cast. By the way, we know like
yeah.
almost the full cast. So it's Mila, Tony Jaa, which plays the hunter. Mila's playing Natalie Artemis. Ron Perlman is playing Admiral. Ti is playing Link, and then a few of these it doesn't say who they're playing, but they have Diego Boneta, Megan Good, Josh Hellman, McGinn, and then I don't know how to say his last name. Schumann, I think, is playing Aiden. Hirona
None of the characters
Yamazaki
are really important.
Yeah. Hirona Yamagasi is playing the handler, which I believe is the only handler. Aaron Bielner is voicing the Palico.
Oh, that's cute. I'm glad that they have a Palico.
Yeah. Nanda Costa doesn't say who she plays. Nick Rastian is playing Sergeant Rorark. And Shlena Bennett is playing comms officer, which is I think that's the voice where they're constantly like reporting back like, hey, we need to stop this. Apparently we're in like another world, that person. I think that was her in the trailer that was on the other side of the radio. So I don't think we'll really see her face other than like her sitting in front of like a computer and a radio and stuff, If we do, that'd be nice because I actually really do like her as an actress, so I hope we see more of her in the movie.
But until we really watch the movie, we won't have another comment. We will visit back to the Monster Hunter movie after we
watch it. Yeah.
Speaking of movies, since we have just a few more minutes here, I am gonna touch on there are three forms of media coming out that I am rather tentatively interested in. The first is the Uncharted movie.
Uncharted. Wait, that sounds familiar.
So, with Nathan Drake, the Uncharted games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's actually
it
gonna
looks
have
good.
It casts Tom Holland as a very young Nathan Drake. which is actually pretty fitting for the face. Like it's actually
Uh,
pretty spot on.
Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the Avengers, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make
Yeah, it
sure I
looks like
had
a
the
very
correct
young
person.
yeah, it looks like a very young Nathan Drake. And I do
Yeah.
mean very young.
Yeah. I
'Cause
mean,
he's kinda got
he
that
has a
baby
tiny,
face.
yeah, he really does. He has a baby face. But it's weird cuz his baby like his face looks like a baby, but he doesn't have like any baby fat on his face.
Yeah, I know, he just has a baby face.
But like it's also manly at the same time and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, are you baby or are you man? Please decide. Please. Oh, so Atlas Entertainment and Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions are working on the Uncharted movie. Um what are the other movies that you're
Okay,
interested in?
so one is a movie and then the other is actually a series, but they
Ooh.
both have to do with Resident Evil.
Oh, are you talking about the new Resident Evil one that's going to be on Netflix? That's a Netflix
Yes,
original?
the
Oh, there's two
Netflix
of them
original.
actually.
Okay, boy, let me talk.
Sorry. I'm excited.
Yes, I know, that's why I'm talking about this. So, the first is the Netflix original Resident Evil series, which should, star, like, the game characters,
Yes.
and then
Leon.
I know, right? Leon,
I,
please.
when I saw Claire
Crush
and
me.
then Leon just shoot someone, it was like, "Hey, Claire." And I'm just like, "Bitch, what?" That like they're
Um,
actually gonna be in the thing together.
mhm. But so my only issue with the Netflix, um, series is it's going to be CG, but it kinda looks like a parallel universe kind of
I'm really
deal. So
hoping it's
hold on, no, no,
not.
no, no, not because of, like, the plot line or anything, because we haven't really gotten any trailers, but
Yeah,
because of
honestly.
the looks of the characters, it almost looks Uncanny Valley. Like, it's
Oh,
cool, but it's not right.
I.
Like, I don't know how to feel about it because
Hmm.
that Leon looks okay, for those of you who don't know, and for those listening to the podcast later down the line, I just shared a picture with Leroy about or it shows Leon and Claire, and it's pretty obvious it's supposed to be Leon and Claire because Leon has his typical 90s haircut and he's wearing the
Yeah.
PD police uniform, and then Claire's got her red leather jacket, which is like the only thing anyone ever puts her in anymore, which sucks because she has such good
Literally.
outfits. Um,
I'm mad that they don't give her more outfits, to be honest.
right.
But I
But
know it could be a parallel universe. I really hope it's not, but we won't know until it
mhm.
comes out. But
So, and then we also have things like this that look kind of nice, and this is the other thing. Or
mhm.
this is also CG Leon. I've just shared another thing, but he's
Yeah.
obviously older, and I'll have to watch it and then report back to you guys about how I
100%.
truly feel about it. Like, I'm tentatively excited. But
I'm
aside from the
excited.
Netflix series, which is supposed to be CG, there's also a Resident Evil reboot movie coming out that is live action. And
Mhm.
supposedly they have Claire and Jill already cast, as well as
I'm really sad they can't do
the
the same cast
the
because
police
of the
chief.
age.
Yeah. They also have Chief Irons, so I'm guessing this is going to take place in Raccoon City, and it might cover the plot of like the second and the third game, but we don't know. It might.
Honestly, I'd be down for it. Like I've oof. Let's just say it's long overdue.
So, so my fiance and I were talking about this yesterday at dinner, and I kind of wish Resident Evil movies would go back to their horror roots because the
Oh
games
yeah.
started out as horror games, like survival horror. with the fixed angles, and it was really tense and the music was
Yeah.
eerie. And then the first movie came out and it was like spot on, perfect, didn't have any of
It
like the
was
fan
so
servicey
good.
characters. It was terrifying. The music was terrifying, and it's
Like, it
still one of my
pulled at
favorite
you.
movies to Oh yeah, it's still one of
Yes.
my favorite movies to watch to this day. Even though some of the graphics don't hold
Are
up as well,
dated.
they're still really good. Like, even
Oh, yeah, no,
like,
they're
that
definitely still
liquor is
good.
spot on, like, 100% great. Some of the movements are, again, weird, but, you know, what can you do with the limited technology at the time? But, like,
Yeah.
after
They
the
did
first
great
one,
with what they had, though.
yeah, after the first movie, they just got all cash grabby for everything. Like, they added Jill, they added Carlos, they added,
Like, they just
Claire.
went with their own spin with it, and it was
Yeah,
all a
and
cash
it was
grab, and it was characters that people were at the time, which you wouldn't fully know because at the time, like, stuff like, main, like, art blogs hadn't fully been created at the time.
Mhm.
But there was a lot of drawn, like, shipping porn, just drawn ships together, mainly of Mila and uh Jill. Like, it was mainly just them.
Really, because my ship in the movie series was Alice and Carlos, because like, they had such a good chemistry, but
Oh
also,
no,
like, who
100% them
wouldn't wanna
too.
kiss Oded Fehr? Like, that
Yeah.
man is hot, like, hot, and he also aged really well. I recently saw
Oh yeah.
a gift set of him, and he's, like, all gray and stuff, and man, he is, oh boy,
He
fine.
aged fine.
He aged fine.
Mhm.
But, like, but yeah, so, like, they started getting all cash grabby, and they tried to add all of the game characters, but,
Mhm.
like, people who didn't play the games weren't
Got
gonna know these
confused.
characters, and, like, they're shoehorning these characters in,
And
like,
they didn't, like, write them in well. Like, they
well,
just
yeah,
expected
a
us
lot of
to know
people,
who they were.
yeah, and then they added Wesker into the 3rd movie, and this is supposed to be Wesker in the 3rd movie.
He looks like Eminem.
Yeah, he looks like Emin. That's the best description I've ever heard of
I no,
him
I
in that
remember
movie.
watching it when it came out, and I was like, why is Eminem and what?"
Right, right, and then they said Wesker, and I was like, "That's not Wesker."
Yeah, literally, I was like, "That's not Wesker.
Like,
That is not who
they
he ever
they
was
got a
supposed to look
different
like."
act they got a different actor down the line, and, like, he plays Wesker, really well, actually, in the later movies,
I
after
do enjoy him, yes.
after they got all actiony, with the
I
slow-mo and the
yeah.
it definitely went towards, the action aspect and less horror, which is what really made
Which,
Resident Evil
honestly,
work.
I'm
Like,
surprised they didn't add Shiva in. I'm surprised they didn't add Shiva in whenever they added Wesker in. I was so
Sheva?
shocked.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
like, they
Sheva,
would've
my
had,
bad.
yeah, like, there were so many characters that they could've done that, like, would've
Oh,
been so much
100%.
better. Like, I mean, they did brainwashed Jill with the blonde hair. Like, you could have added
Yeah.
Sheva. Anyway,
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
I like, I re after the 3rd movie, they really fell off the ball because, like,
Yeah.
in the 2nd movie where they added, Jill and Nemesis and Carlos, they still had their original characters like LJ and,
Yeah.
the little girl.
I forgot her name.
I did too. Oh my god, I'm such a bad fan.
I always no, what's sad is I always
Angela.
forget her name. Angela, yeah.
It's Angela, and her
Because
friends call her Angie.
I always think of her as just, like, the AI.
Well,
Because
like,
they
the
use
AI
her
is
for the
modeled,
AI con I know.
yeah, the AI is modeled after her, but, like, I thought it was really
I
smart idea to add Angie instead of, say, Sherry, who they
yeah.
could have added, and then, it's another character that got
You know
shoehorned
who
in.
I wish they would have added? Like, 100%. Oh, fuck, now I forgot her name. I think her name was Brittany?
Brittany.
No, she was in the games. She was in Resident Evil Zero, I think it was, or something like
Oh,
that.
no, Rebecca.
Rebecca, yes, Rebecca. Why did I think Brittany? Who the fuck am I? Wait.
Well, they do have Rebecca in some of the CG movies, which I really like.
Yes.
Like, the CG movies are all spectacular. Like, I have, like, maybe one complaint about one of the CG movies, and that's because Claire literally leaves the safe room with an umbrella to attack zombies, and I'm just like, "This lady
Literally.
survived a zombie apocalypse. You really think she's gonna go out there with an umbrella?
Right.
That's not gonna happen. Even if she wants to
It's
save
not
people, she's gonna go out way better prepared." Are you telling me that lady does not have some kind of weapon
on
stashed
her,
on her body?
right?
Like, I know that she just went through airport security, but you could have a knife.
Something. Also, okay, so this is one of my number one pet peeves about the movie, and because they took Wesker from the game, they should have kept it like more similar than they did. Wesker in the game had brown fucking hair. Why did you give him blonde and then change him to brown with blonde tips?
Because he dyed his hair. God, it's
He's
fashionable.
edgy. But
Also,
like
oh, okay, so
Wesker's hair couldn't dye. If you remember in Resident Evil 5, she literally what was her Excella? I think her name was.
mhm,
She literally was doing literally injecting him, keeping him
stable.
stable, and then like she tried to dye his hair and it just went back to being brown. Like there is literally a
Yeah.
scene where she drops a bottle, and if you zoom in on it and everything, it's literally like I think it was bleach, and she tried bleaching his hair and it went back to brown because of the virus in him. It wasn't like it would even let his hair be affected. Like his hair instantly reverted back because bleach is technically damage to your hair. So
Mhm.
it regenerated his hair and put it back to his normal state, which is the whole like thing with the virus that's in his body.
But, okay, so if we're talking about pet peeves, I really wish they would have kept, like, the movies separate from the games or had
Yes.
them entirely, the same, like, have the movies take place alongside the games. Like,
Yeah.
do one or the other. Don't try to
Or even
mix and
if
match.
they like kept it how it is, if they would just wrote in the characters better. I don't even care if the characters from the games even like were basically the same as the people in the games, as long as they were written in better. Like they just
That's
were
true.
thrown in and
There
expected people to know because it yes, the movie is based off a game, but not
Mhm.
everyone's going to play the game to understand the movie. The only people that understand the movie is the ones that played the games or went and watched people play the games or went and read about the movies and stuff like that. Like it's so hard to follow along whenever they started adding in characters that aren't supposed to be there, and they just like were like, "Oh, you're from this. Okay, cool. And you know about this." And it's like, "Wait, how did they know about that? Like, wait, go back. What?" Like there was too much of that. Sorry, I'm late. Oh,
No, you're fine. I was, one of my okay, I keep saying one of my biggest pet peeves about this movie series, but, like, there's so many. There's so many pet peeves
we
about
love
this
it to
movie
death.
series.
We will flat
Oh,
out admit it. We
I
love this movie, like the movie
I
series to
love
death.
this movie series. We recently or I don't think it was you. I
Yeah, it
recently
was.
watched Oh, yeah, no, it was you. It was you and Jester and
Hmm.
Meow, I think. Yeah, so we were all just sitting around watching
We
these movies.
rewatched
Like,
the first four
I am
before
of the
sleeping.
opinion that you can enjoy something and still be critical of it. Being
Oh
critical
yeah,
of something doesn't mean you don't enjoy it. So
yeah.
if I criticize something, it's not because I don't like it. It's because I think critically about just
I
about
mean, there's
everything.
also a difference between being critical about it and being toxic about it. Like,
Mm.
look at PvP communities. Like,
We'll
go.
get to that in another
Which, yeah,
podcast.
we're getting into that in our podcast, but I'm specifically mean like look at like COD. Like everyone's toxic in it, and they say they hate the game, but they keep playing it.
Yeah,
That's not being like how we're saying. That's being just straight up toxic towards the game, but not putting it down because you're quote a fan of it or you're
yeah.
addicted to it.
But I think they made some poor casting choices for a few characters in general. Obviously, that first Wesker, who looks like Eminem. Um, but
With a real Sim Shady, please stand up, teleport, stabs through chest.
um, my big pet peeve is the guy who plays Chris Redfield in the later movies.
Oh
I don't think
yes.
he made a good Chris Redfield.
I
Scott
think
Eastwood would have made a good Chris Redfield, I think.
I think they
personally.
were trying to make him basically the steroid version back
Well, yeah,
then,
no, but that's
but it still didn't work. Like they didn't even do it correctly.
he's every time I look at that guy, all I can see is that show where he's in prison and he keeps trying to break out, but he keeps getting caught. Like
Yeah.
that's all I know about that TV show, but that's what he's from. Like that's what he's known for in my brain.
I
But
mean,
like,
they didn't even give him a similar outfit either. Like if you go back and look at it, it literally looks like a Russian Slavics like fucking out
Yeah.
like he just picked it up off of their dead body and was like, this is mine now, instead of like they didn't give him his BSAA uniform.
Well, he was in a prison, so that's excusable. He got thrown in prison. He was working as a security guard at a prison, so he wasn't exactly BSAA anymore. But this
Yeah.
is oop, never mind. Don't click that. That's
Uh-oh.
oop.
Was that
Okay.
not what
So
you
this
thought it
is
was?
no, it's over 2,000, so it just sends it as a text file.
Oh.
This is Scott Eastwood.
I just found the reboot, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That literally, I found what you sent me, basically, just with the side by side.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Except he's shirtless in it too.
Oh, share.
Got you. Copy image, Discord. For those of y'all, all I can explain it as is perfect man pecs with a nice chiseled body, but not too chiseled.
Like he's not like Hugh Jackman Wolverine ripped, but like
Yeah.
there's some nice definition going on here. He's got like this really nice shoulder to waist ratio going on.
He has the definition without it being so bulky you can't rest on him. Like you can rest on him and be comfortable. You know, it's not gonna be like muscle, you know what I'm trying to say? He's nice, basically. He's not fuck yeah, he's not slim. He's
Yeah.
nice.
The other casting choice I didn't agree with was I don't remember which movie it was, but the one where Alice wakes up in the facility and Jill is still brainwashed and Ada goes in and tries to get her out. And then you have that team with um oh the really hot black guy who
Wait, are
was
you mean the
famous before the
Jill
zombie
like the
apocalypse.
are you mean Jill's like actor or the black guy's actor?
Well, no, I mean like the black guy, he was hot. Like I
Well,
don't
yeah.
remember the character's name. It's the one that was in the prison building
Mhm.
with Chris, and or Alice flirted with him a little bit, and there was some nice chemistry. Anyway,
Mhm.
Barry in that movie was not a very good Barry.
No, he wasn't. Didn't
And
they
like
even like do the Jill sandwich like joke wrong with him
I don't
too?
remember, honestly. It's been so long since I've seen
I'm-
the later ones. I usually stop after 4.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I am angry with who they replaced Jill with. Because it's not the same actress.
Well, no, but again, the age thing.
Well, the thing is, it would have been fine because like look at the woman who played Jill whenever she's on like the ship. You can clearly see age. Like she looks like she isn't in her 20s or 30s like Jill's supposed to be at that time. She looks like she's in her 40s. Which is sad to say about an actress. I know it's kind of fucked, but like they could have went with the normal actress and just dyed her hair blonde. Which is basically what they did to this woman. I also hate what they did with the outfit. The outfit was supposed to be leather or like a pleather/leather, but instead they did a weird cotton thing and it didn't look right. I'm very picky with my Jills.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
But all right, we're actually 9 minutes over our time limit. So if anyone has any questions real fast, this is pretty much where we're gonna be ending it at. Just go ahead and leave them in the chat on stream or in the comments below. If it's the comments for like the podcast, we'll be answering them probably next, or we'll not probably, but for sure, we will answer any questions y'all leave us in the next podcast. I'll be sure to go through and add them into our notes so that we can answer them. Also, please do leave a review on whatever you're listening to this on, whether it be Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. I know Android has another type of podcast thing, Spotify, Pandora Podcast, whatever you are listening to it on. For sure, leave a rating. It helps us out. It helps us get this out there and exposure for this, because we would love to continue doing this. It's been fun. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous as hell at the beginning, and we did
You
have
were.
some oh yeah, definitely hiccups.
I'll definitely try and get a different headset before next time.
Yes, which we're doing once every 2 weeks. If we pick up traction, we'll try for once a week. And if we super pick up traction, where this is pretty much a job, we'll do it twice a week. Does that sound fair
This
to
is
you,
pretty
V?
much a job. I'm gonna
Yeah.
quit my job.
Yeah, if this is pretty much a job, we'll do it 2 times a week and be perfectly happy with it. Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Be gay, do crime.
Wait, did you say be gay, do crime?
Yes.
Oh my god, no.